Hello and welcome to another episode of the weekly Waypoint. Today we're in World of Warcraft. I was going to do a legacy raid run. I was going to run through Serpentine Cavern and try and get some pets that I'm missing, get some transmog finished, although I'm not sure if I even can on this character. I think I've already got all the transmog in Serpentine Cavern, but either way it's one of the shorter ones to do. But then I saw that Cataclysm Time Walking was available to do this week, and I was like, oh, that would actually be better content. That would actually be me literally fighting enemies that are scaled to me instead of just wiping the floor with them. And this is a dungeon I haven't done many times, and I did join one midway through, but that's good because it means I don't have to speed up the footage to fit it into the 10-minute video. Also, yes, I use a default UI, and yes, my spells are a mess, but I don't really care, so I was considering recording some Fall Guys as a background gameplay for this week, which would make a lot of sense considering Fall Guys came out this week and it's taken the world by storm, which, by the way, I totally saw that coming a mile away. And I'm very glad it has taken the world by storm as well. It's a very cheerful game. But, I mean, firstly, it's another 720p video, isn't it? But, like, that's not too bad. Fall Guys doesn't look too bad at 720p. But the other issue is that when I record on my PS4, for some reason, when I record, like, lengthy stuff, like 10-minute stuff, it randomly, like, cuts parts of the video out. If you've noticed in the Need for Speed Rivals one that I did, it would, like, jump ahead in the race. Same with the Gran Turismo one. That, I don't know why it does that. That's another one of those infuriatingly many problems that props up that requires money to deal with, because I could fix that by buying a memory stick and transferring the files over to my PC and then editing it this way. But I did that once and I immediately lost the memory stick, and I'm still pissed off about that. But if you are interested in seeing me play some Fall Guys, head on over to the live stream video on demand channel I have, which is available in my banner, or just search for Kritigri Live. And I got a couple streams in it right there, and some highlights if you don't want to spend 2 hours watching me play Jelly Bean Parkour. I'll probably stream it again at some point in the future. I've also been streaming some WoW lately. I've been kind of getting back into streaming. And yeah, that's what I'll talk about this week. Streaming. Basically, I have these grand plans for when the pre-patch comes out for the next World of Warcraft expansion, because it revamps leveling in such a way that I'll be able to do story playthroughs of every expansion once per character. So for instance, I could take a character through Northrend from levels 10 to level 50, because the level squish is going to make level 60 the new max level at the end of Shadowlands. So basically, we can take like an Orc Warrior or a Frost Mage or like a Death Knight all the way through Northrend, all the way through Wrath of the Lich King, and they've paced it so that basically you hit level 50 by the time you finish the final zone, the final zone's worth of questing, and that's awesome because we've got Burning Crusade, we've got Wrath of the Lich King, we've got Cataclysm, and that's not even to mention the revamp of the old world, which, to the best of my knowledge, is 4 different playthroughs to see all of it. So like Eastern Kingdoms Alliance and Horde, Kalimdor Alliance and Horde, and then there's Mists of Pandaria, there's Warlords of Draenor, there's Legion, and there's Battle for Azeroth. So many playthrough opportunities there, and I went on a kind of crazed ramble about it on my Twitter about a week ago about what I want to do. I'm just gonna not keep talking about it, because not keep going on about it on Twitter until we're closer to the time, because the pre-patch probably isn't going to come out until October, maybe later, and I'm really excited about like just making new characters with all the new character customization options. I spent hours watching someone's videos on the previews of all the races so far that they've done, and they all look super fucking cool, and I've got ideas for characters, and I basically want to do a stream through of every expansion, possibly twice, to see it from the Alliance side and the Horde side, which is an insanely ambitious thing to say, because that's going to be hours and hours and hours and hours of live streaming, and we all know what I'm like with live streaming projects and sticking to them, but this is something I really fucking want to do. So I've been getting back into WoW streaming lately, just to kind of like prepare myself for that, and I've noticed that when I stream World of Warcraft I tend to do longer streams, and by longer I mean like an hour longer. My streams usually don't go over 2 hours. My WoW streams have been 3 hours each so far, and or at least 2.5 hours, and I think it's just because this is like my game. installed an add-on which combines all of like my gold and all of my time played and stuff as stats that I can view, and my time played across all my characters is something crazy like 100+ days. Time well spent. But if you've ever been interested in World of Warcraft or the story of World of Warcraft, keep an eye out for those streams because I am super excited for them, and I'll be doing them in October-ish, or November, or whenever it comes out. We'll start. I was saying we would skip Outland and Burning Crusade because it's older stuff, but I don't know, I was just doing some fishing in Zangarmarsh while I was waiting for this dungeon to pop, and I remembered how much I love Outland, and I could probably stand a quest design, but I don't know, it's probably not the best idea to do it first because they really didn't care much about story and plot and narrative back in Burning Crusade. All that stuff really came in with Wrath of the Lich King, so we should probably start in Wrath, really. So yeah, if you like World of Warcraft or you're interested in World of Warcraft, prepare for a lot more World of Warcraft. Speaking of MMOs, Final Fantasy XIV's free trial is expanding to include the entire base game and its first expansion, Heavensward, and I've played up to like level 20 of that game, and then I didn't want to keep paying for a sub at that point, even though I was enjoying it, so I might re-download and install that at some point and give that a whirl, maybe while I'm waiting for pre-patch to happen, although I am kind of knee-deep in WoW anyway. Also, the Sony State of Play happened last week, and I thought that was really cool. I kind of live-tweeted, or semi-live-tweeted the entire thing, just like my reactions to stuff. I think it was a really strong showing. There's some stuff in there I'm really excited about, and I think like they just continue to be like my choice. I don't endorse console wars or anything like that at all. That's just toxicity for the sake of toxicity. The companies themselves don't care about it, and this generation specifically, they're going in such different directions that it's stupid to compare them even. Like, one's going the direction of this super curated like AAA story single player experience games, and the other like betting that people will come over to their console to play those, and the other's going for like these like services like via Xbox Game Pass and like having a library of games and like indie games or whatever that you can just sift through and play, and like they're betting on people coming for the quantity, and it's not just as simple as quality versus quantity, but basically they're so different you don't even compare them anymore, and it's really cool what both of them are doing. It's just that personally the Sony stuff appeals to me more. That being said, I wish they would change their hard stance on exclusives as like only theirs, and like the stuff they're doing with Spider-Man in the Avengers game is just shitty. that's toxic business decision right there. Let everyone play Spider-Man. I, as a person who will be playing that game on PS4 if I play it anywhere, I want other people to be able to experience Spider-Man and also the other DLC at the same time as me. And if you're limiting Spider-Man to an exclusivity thing in the first place, that brings up loads of questions about what the point of him even is, because you can't have too many major story moments around him and all this kind of shit. So yeah, it's a mess. As for the exclusive games, I think that's a bit less unforgiving because it's an entire game and not part of a game that you're locking away from someone. At the same time though, I would love for them to look at what they did with Horizon Zero Dawn on PC and take that and turn it into a model going forwards where PlayStation exclusives are maybe like for 2 or 3 years, or like until a sequel comes out, and then you're still allowing the PC audience, and I don't even care, Xbox audience, Switch audience, do that too. Switch might be a bit harder because of the hardware, but give those games to those guys like later as well, and then they'll get to experience those games just later. So you've still got the selling point. In fact, it's more of an advertising point, but you're not locking people out of playing certain games. And yeah, that's what I think Sony should do. That's my 2 cents, but that would probably make them less money. And money. We talked about that a bit on Pictures Without Pictures, this week's episode of the podcast, so go listen to that if you're interested. For now though, that's the end of this one. Thank you for watching. Mwah.